All right, so switching gears a little bit,
Okay.
let's come to all this Bollywood hangama that's going on
Yeah, yeah.
versus, say, the cultural Hindutva. All right,
So
they are at
you
loggerheads
have
today.
you watched Brahmastra by any chance? I
No
want to
way,
know.
no
No,
way.
no. Okay.
I've not watched it. I will not.
You don't plan to watch it either?
No, I don't.
Okay. Yeah.
I go for good cinema, but I didn't
Not Brahmastra.
feel that.
Brahmastra is
No,
not your idea of good cinema,
no.
for sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Your question, please. You were
Yeah,
saying
so
something.
how do you see that? I see Bollywood going down, down, down from a
Hmm.
content standpoint. And
Yes.
it's not just the Hindu backlash or Hindutva backlash, whatever be it.
Hmm.
Okay, but it's all also the content. What is your take on that?
It's a perfect storm that has brought down Bollywood today.
Hmm.
People don't like their arrogance. People just don't like their arrogance, their lifestyle, the way they talk. So that was something that was growing and brewing for quite some time. Then what gave that a real push was the tragic episode of Sushant Singh Rajput. That is when it came to the fore that actually, these guys are nepotistic, these guys are corrupt, these guys don't let outsiders come into our cinema. Then what further added a layer to it was the Hindutva backlash. That hang on, actually, these films very slowly, very stealthily, they have an agenda sometimes, and they are brazenly anti-Hindu. There's a very good page, Gems of Bollywood,
I follow
and
that. Yeah,
you follow that,
yeah.
and it's quite a revelation. I was with Anand Rangnathan on a debate with Rahul
Mm.
Shankar, and we discussed this at length.
Hmm.
So, I mean, so many things that we never observed, but now when we keenly look
Absolutely.
at it, Diwar, for example, who could have thought that here is a guy, Amitabh Bachchan's character, Vijay, he hates God. He doesn't visit a temple. He sits outside, but he believes in the Billa number 786. I mean, can you imagine this? And
Yeah,
we took it. And we took it as cinema. We
exactly.
lapped it up.
Exactly. The irony is, at that
Yeah.
time, I was a big fan of
Hmm.
Amitabh Bachchan,
Hmm.
an absolute fan. Looking back at all this, that seemed to be an agenda. Another dialogue about Mughals, what kind of a great
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a
culture, and
scene. There's a
blah, blah,
scene.
blah, and all that.
Mughals have done everything or something of that sort.
Wonderful. Yeah, yeah, they gave us all this, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So, looking back, like
Hmm.
you exactly mentioned, all
Hmm.
these are kind of looking very obnoxious.
And you
Okay.
know what? They've slowly but surely poisoned our mindset also. I mean, when was the last time you saw a tilakdhari, saffron clad sadhu who was a decent person?
Yeah.
They have always shown them to be absolute monsters or molesters. And, I was just thinking, I was talking to someone and talking to some friends and everyone, some of the girls also, and they were like, we don't feel safe when there are sadhus around. We feel they are rogues. So where has this come from? Unfortunately, unfortunately, it's come from cinema. There's a perception you have. कि, अरे, sadhu hai, they are corrupt people. They are this. They start building, reinforcing this stereotype. And on the contrary, whenever you see a Muslim, you'll see a Rahim Chacha, or you'll see a benevolent man. So this has been done, and it subconsciously, it is affecting our mindset. It is affecting everyone's mindset. So when all this happened, people got aghast with Bollywood. And surprisingly, this was also a time when their content also nosedived. Their content is also obnoxious these days. So it's a perfect storm today that has brought down Bollywood, if you ask me. That's why it's on its knees, and I am glad it has happened, if you ask me, because only if something that has been ruining things, only if that goes down, will we see a reformation or a renaissance.
Yeah,
Otherwise, we can't. We can't. Their arrogance will continue unabated.
absolutely, absolutely. So you can't continue to have some, I'm to say, very below average content, all right, just
Yes,
taking the
yes.
audience for granted. I'm not trying to generalize here, but the current trend of whatever
Hmm.
films are coming, the content is not that great. And
Yeah.
that's why I think we are not able to compete with some of the South Indian movies. that are coming up, South movies that are coming up, like RRR, KGF, and all that. They are bringing in different kind of spice into this whole thing.
So they've captured a very good genre. They've captured this larger than life genre really well. And this is something that was missing for quite some time.
Yeah.
And plus, you look at the hypocrisy here in Bollywood. Kashmir Files, everybody boycotted it. This entire Bollywood jing bang, they go to each other's premiere parties and post selfies and cheer each other's work, even if it's useless.
Yeah.
They did not post anything. In fact, they did what they could to sabotage this film. Why? Because for the first time, the sufferers shown were Hindus. And they reduced it to political drama. This is all nonsense. This is fact check and all this drama they did instead of being proud of their film. And even Anurag Kashyap, he just recently said, we don't want Kashmir Files to be our official entry to Oscars. They should be very proud of a film that started with barely, Anand, I'll tell you, it started with 450 or 500 screens. And it scaled up to 4,000, unlike a Brahmastra, which has the luxury of an 8,000 screen release today. So, I mean, it grew on its own merit.
Absolutely.
Made at a shoestring budget. I mean, if you look at the ROI, it is, I don't know what, it is 15 times the investment has come back on that film. So that's where Bollywood stands exposed today.
Absolutely. And if you see the content that's coming up from South, even Malayalam movies, very good ones. I watched a few.
I'm yet to watch them. You can probably recommend a few to me.
I'll do it. All right. Very good movies. All right. The content has been good always in Malayalam.
So that I know. Malayalam films are famous for
you see Drishyam. Most of the things that Bollywood remakes, right, they have good content, and that has come from the South. All right. So that's the whole thing. You have to come up with something original, something really good from a content standpoint, and that will really work. It's not just the Hindutva part of it.
Not just the Hindutva part.
Yeah, in some panels, somebody like Swara Bhaskara, somebody, they talk, say that, oh, the right wing is taking over and all that. But it's not just that. I think it's more of the content also.
It's more of the content. And if the right wing had completely taken over, if that was the sole reason, her film, which was that film, Veere. Veere was that film. Veere the Wedding. That was a big hit. That did very well. And it was anything that the right says. That film was quite bold from a right wing standpoint, but it still did well. And it came recently, I think 3-4 years back. 2018-19. So I don't think that is the reason for that. That is the sole reason for that. That has, yes, accelerated that process. Because people are sick of seeing Hindus being insulted in films. Hindus being reduced to a joke. And that is where I think South has done a good job also. You look at their films, they honor their culture. They honor their culture. They wear it on their sleeve. They are unapologetic of who they are. They don't try to ape the West. So this is something that is auguring very well with people here. Absolutely. That's what I see.
Yeah, even Telugu industry, if you see, see most of the movies, big stars, Mahesh Babu and everyone, right? You will see the dialogues and the culture that shows up at their homes. In the
family
movies,
values.
Right? Family values and all that, right? Father, everyone, and the respect and all that. They don't go the Western way all the time. All right, probably 1 or 2 movies, but they stick to our culture, and you see that in their behavior even outside of cinema.
I was coming to that. You know, today, Anand, it has become very important with social media and with so many shutterbugs and Instagram and Facebook. It matters how your off-screen image is. You know, people have always invested in stars. Earlier, we didn't have that much of access to a star's life. Today, it matters what you are saying outside, what kind of a person you are, because only then am I allured to you. So I have to give it that the Southern stars, you talk about Prabhas, you talk about Mahesh Babu, you talk about even someone like Rajnikant, Ram Charan, NTR. I mean, they're all very humble. You'll not see that arrogance which, I don't know, which a Ranbir Kapoor would have probably, or a Kareena Kapoor would have, who would say, "Dekhni hai to dekho, otherwise don't see our films." So they have that arrogance which is also a part of their undoing.
Yeah, and somebody begging on camera to boycott their movies.
Taapsee Pannu.
Taapsee
Pannu and Anurag Kashyap. Very arrogant. Very, very
All
arrogant the
those
way they
things
play.
don't go well with audience, right? So they
They
need to
don't.
you respect your audience, okay? You change your style and then give what the audience really likes.